Awesomenauts is known for occasionally having the community design characters for the game. These are held as contests, known as Design Your Knot. The first time around, the winner was Admiral Swiggins, but in 2016, Design Your Knot has returned, and this time the winner is Ix, the Interloper. These two characters have very different concepts gameplay-wise. While Swiggins can make enemies vulnerable through a tether ability, Ix prefers to make enemies vulnerable through a tether ability. However, my theory on the community's unconscious obsession with tetherball is not what I'm going over today. With the character Ix drawing closer and closer to being released from the beta, I've decided to go over something special today. You guessed it, the Solar Tree. How do I know you guessed it? Well, it's most likely because you read the title, making my attempts to trick you rather pointless. However, Ix and the Solar Tree are indeed relevant. Those who played the beta may know why, but for everybody else, let's try to keep this a secret until we reach that point, alright? With that out of the way, let's begin talking about Solar Tree. But Niz, the game's moved on. The game hasn't had Solar Tree in about 2 years. It even says in plain sight on the Gamepedia, cannot be bought any more. I'm gonna ask you to trust me when I say I noticed. Yeah, Solar Tree has been missing for the past 2 years. Now I don't say dead, I say missing. Solar Tree has been missing for a long time now. Now, many have interpreted this as the death of Solar Tree, hence why there are a few less than optimistic pictures that were drawn of it afterwards. But I like to believe that Solar Tree was still alive, and it would return one day, and Raystone would stop being a substitute. That as long as we didn't have physical evidence of Solar Tree's death, that it is still alive. However, in the middle of patch 3.1, things have changed. No evidence has presented itself to have me believe otherwise. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where Ix comes in. Ix has had quite a few interesting upgrades. I am not talking about the upgrades that are references to the designs that could have been Ix. I'm going to ask my younger and or weaker-hearted viewers to shield their eyes, since this is a very gruesome display. The item that you are witnessing before you is known as Broken Solar Tree. This item is held by Ix, the Interloper. Although the question of how the supposed carcass of a beloved solar item has become the property of Ix remains a mystery, a greater question lingers beyond that. What is the cause of death? The key word here is Broken Solar Tree. Broken, not wilted, not aged, worn, nor expired. This tree did not die of natural causes. It was murdered. Our detectives were quick at work to contact Ix with this information now available to us. Although somewhat stubborn, Ix eventually agreed to give us the samples of the Broken Solar Tree after making a compromise. So we are bearing you 2 pieces of good news here. Thanks to Broken Solar Tree being multi-staged, Ix could share enough samples for DNA testing. And Solar Crab Burgers are now gluten-free. Ix, not only for being so cooperative, but being known for being environmentally friendly, and unfriendly to those not environmentally friendly, has been for now disregarded as a suspect for the lack of a motive. However, I would not worry if Ix was accused of murder. Ocelonaut mercenaries are not only notorious for having criminal records, they are even told to write down the criminal records as past experiences in application papers. Look carefully at the Ocelonauts cast and you'll see that they are filled with criminals. People who are charged for property damage, profanity, littering, robberies, impersonating a police officer, speeding, political assassinations, time traveling without a license, swim-bys, nudity, and yet somehow this game is still rated T. My apologies, I'm getting off topic. Allow me to continue with the DNA results. The DNA tested positive for being solar trees, just as we suspected. Although this may wrap us in a blanket of despair, I hope that the closure will be enough to help us move on. The remains will be buried next to Power Pill's light. Allow us to take a moment of silence to remember this item. But at this point, our job is not done yet. We are yet to find a culprit for the crime. Our prime suspect is Piggy Bank, Solar Tree's more impulsive sibling. Piggy Bank was always a questionable choice before patch 2.7. Back in the days when we had to decide our builds before the match even began. Yes, I'm referring to the Dark Ages, or to others the Golden Ages, when 75 was a lot. With 2 solar items being questionable since it left your late game extremely vulnerable, many had to make a choice, Tree or Piggy. Those who didn't have the rubber mask or the flashy glasses of the time had to choose between a safer passive investment like Solar Tree or a gambling snowball like Piggy Bank. Reports have said that no matter the results, Piggy Bank showed no appreciation for the competition. As time passes, it explains more and more how each patch, Piggy Bank benefits and becomes stronger. One patch allowed everyone to see all the items that they had available and pick as they pleased during the match. This update allows great flexibility and was a huge improvement in general, but one item it obviously benefits is Piggy Bank, an item that is a universal utility but is now also able to be used as a backup plan without having to worry about picking up beforehand and not needing it. This opened up a lot of doors for Piggy Bank. No more worrying about picking up Medican instead because there might be a Gnaw in the enemy team. It was always there if you needed it or not. So today, I wish to help by spreading awareness of this item's dastardly schemes. I wish to cement the idea that this is not because the Piggy Bank has a Terminator reference on it. I am very accepting of robots, I like AI Station, I defend my droids, and I am okay with playing with clunks and sentries. Even I myself will pick up Piggy Bank every now and then. It is a very helpful item for emergencies, although I will not have my neck exposed around it. I am simply asking that you take alternatives. Yes, I know Solar Tree is gone, and yes, I know that taking Lone Shark and Monkey Hand are the equivalent of doing the unholy dark arts, but I am talking about slower pace and more simple alternatives. When you're cycling your lanes, pick up those single pieces of solar on the ground. When a droid dies from non-knock causes, go pick it up. Fun fact, every 26 droids is equivalent of one Piggy Bank, and you don't even need to lose a space in your upgrade rows. So don't get blinded by the promise of immediate rewards. Remember the long-term basics. Remember to collect. Remember to farm. And as for Solar Tree. Solar Tree may be dead, but its family lives on. It says so in the item description. These trees almost went extinct in 2014, but made a strong return in the following years. And guess what year Solar Tree was removed? One day, Solar Tree's children are going to come back and fulfill his legacy.